having such a glorious day. If not, do understand and get that your day, your life is going to get better, honey. Once your perception gets better, let's say it again. Okay. Your day, your life is going to get better once your perception gets better. I hope you guys are having such a lovely, magnificent, terrific, abundant, prosperous type of day. Okay, all right. Just overall, just great. A great day. You get what I'm saying? Just great. All right. Now, right now, I am reading Working with the Law, okay, by Raymond Howell. All right. The 11 Forgotten Laws. And I remember when my mentor, Bob Proctor, had recommended this book. He talked about it in one of his videos, and I said, you know what, I'm going to get that book, and I purchased the book, and I had read a few pages, so I was here reading Law of Thinking. Okay, and in this book it talks about the 11 Forgotten Laws. All right. And it talks about going based upon your senses. Okay, what we tend to see, smell, taste, touch, feel, right? Going based upon it. And one of the things my great mentor talks about, he says we ought to go by our higher faculties, okay? Our higher faculties. And our higher faculties are reasoning, will, memory, perception, intuition, and imagination. Okay, we have to go by those 6 faculties. And when we tend to go by those 6 faculties, we're not living based upon the physical world. We're not living based upon, just what we can see. I remember when I was a kid, my father, he would have these sayings and stuff, and sometimes I would look at my father a little sideways because some of the things he would say, and I would look at him like, what? Right. And one of the things he would say was, I remember I was a kid and he said, you cannot believe everything you see with these eyes. Right. And I never heard no one ever say anything like that. And, I took that like, oh my goodness, I know he crazy. Okay. I know he crazy. And I said, what you mean you can't see with these eyes? He went on, he said, because sometimes you think that you've seen something, but it's not really what you believe you have seen. And every time I start reading this book, Law of Thinking, Working with the Law by Raymond Howell, I start thinking about what my father said when I was a kid. And this is what it says. Okay. We are prone to believe more than what we see. The evidence of the senses are only facts that some accept. But now we shall realize more and more that it is what we believe that determines what we shall see. In other words, believing is seeing. More defeats and failures are due to mental blindness. Okay. Blindness than to moral deviations. If one lived only by physical sight, his world would be very small. It is said of a bug that its world is only as large as the size of the leaf on which it lives. And many times it does not live long enough to consume the whole leaf. What man, if he lived according to the senses, the largest sense he possessed would be that of sight. This, our whole world would extend only as far as we could see. We believe in the testimony of our eyes. We should accept many conditions that are not true. For example, if you look down a railroad track, you will observe that at a certain distance, the 2 tracks converge at one point. This is not true. Have you ever stood on a boardwalk and watched a ship slowly sink into the sea as it sailed away? That ship was in sinking, our eyes tell us falsely. When you are worried, this is the part, okay? This is the part. When you are worried over some obstacle or problem, just remind yourself that it may be purely an illusion of the senses, that it may not be true at all according to the law. Okay. And our eyes, listen, did you know that you don't even see with your eyes? Your eyes are like a pair of windows. All right. At the back of the window, there is a reflector, and this reflector in turn forms an image of what you see and sets up a wave current. So, many times when we see certain things, I always give the analysis, the example of when you receive something in a mail, right? And maybe a letter or something, maybe a bill or some sort, and or maybe some tickets. Okay. And now two times this has happened to me. First of all, let me tell you this. Whatever shows up, okay, in the mail, do understand that you don't have to accept it. All right. Let me tell you, the subconscious mind, and all day long, we are operating from the subconscious mind. Okay. We are on autopilot. And you do have a choice in life. So many people, they feel like they don't have a choice, in life. They just tied to circumstances. The way it is, that's just the way it always have to be. And that is so forced. That is like erroneous. It is not true. Okay. And when you receive something, okay, you have a choice. You have the ability to accept it or reject it. But you know what most people do? Most people, they accept it. Okay. Most people, they feel like, well, this came from the courts. I got to accept it. Or this came from this person as in some sort of authority. I have to accept it. But you don't have to accept it. Okay. Just because you receive something, that does not mean that you always have to accept it. You have choices in life. All right. Now, I know most of us, we have been conditioned to believe, whatever comes in our lives, that's just the way things have to be. You just have to, take it. You don't have no choices or anything like that. You do have a choice. You do have a choice. There is always an opposite to whatever it is that's going on in your life. So for instance, if you're a person that's dealing, say for instance, you go to the doctor and the doctor tell you something pertaining to results. Okay. You took a test pertaining to results or whatever. And you instantly start panicking. You start worrying. You keep on thinking about it. You keep on, feeling those emotions as if that you have to stay that way. You start telling people about it and stuff like that. And all the books that I have read, okay, it always talks about do not tell people of your health problems, okay? Because if you tell people of your health problems, then, and they're not doctors, like, what's the sense of you telling them about your health problems and they not doctors, all right? So to just keep telling people like, oh, you sick or you got this going on or that going on, guess what? They are going to, you are going to have it. Okay. And the longer you keep talking about it, remember, energy grows where energy goes. So if you keep on talking about whatever it is that has shown up in your life, that's what's going to keep on happening in your life. So you got to tell yourself, I don't accept this. Okay. And don't accept it. Like when I say, don't tell yourself, you don't accept it. Like I really mean like, don't accept it. Okay. Like you don't have to accept it. If you get some results from your doctor or whatever it is like that, you have the ability to say, I know my doctor had told me my results or whatever it is like this, but that's just what the scan or whatever it is the test says. I know I am health. Okay. And if you actually believe it, you see yourself as a healthy person. Oh, get off the bed with those. You see yourself as a healthy person. Okay. And so what would a healthy person start doing? Okay. They would start looking at their health. They would start taking care of themselves. They have an image of themselves, a certain image of themselves. Okay. And that's what it really starts with. It starts with your self-image. Everything starts with self-image. All right. There's so many people who say that they want to do this or they want to do that. You have to do it. I told you guys this story the other day. I was on the train. I was getting off, and it was this guy that we was walking up the stairs, and he was walking quicker than me. All right. And when I got on the little minivan or whatever it is that we have in New Jersey, when I got on the little minivan, he was on there. He got on there, and I sat down, and he was like, "Oh, hey," he was like, "What's your book about?" Right? And at that time, I was reading Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, right? And Psycho-Cybernetics, I always mention this book because it's such a phenomenal read. It talks about self-image. Okay. In that book, it talks about paying attention to your successes, all right? To the times that you won, to the times where as though you overcame the obstacles in your life or whatever it is. It talks about changing your self-image, become the person that you desire to be. So how does that work, right? Like, how do you become the person that you desire to be? One of the things that I highly encourage you guys, I always talk about goals, and I will always talk about goals, okay? You have to write this stuff down, whatever it is that you desire to be. Okay. What type of person do you desire to be? Right. A person that's honest, a person that's loving, kind, successful, a person that is a giver. Okay. So you write all this stuff down that you desire to be, the person you desire to be, and you start working towards that. Some people, they really, really want to write, for instance. They want to write a book, and perhaps God put that in them, in a heart, for them to be a writer. Okay. And what I have seen many times, people don't take the initiative. They don't write the book. They don't write the book because in their mind, they have convinced themselves, or they allowed the ego to convince them, that no one is going to buy the book. That's one. What gives them the right to think that they are qualified to write the book? They probably wasn't good in writing when they was, in high school or something like that, or whatever it is. And so they look for all the ways. They look for so many ways to talk themselves out of why they're not qualified. And it's so funny because God said that you're qualified, but you're listening to the ego. You listening to that chatter in your mind that's saying that you're not qualified. You listening to, perhaps maybe you had a teacher who told you, that you wasn't a good writer. And so you listening to all these things and thinking that you shouldn't write the book. And a guy that I met the other day, he was saying, like, he said, I said, "Oh, what do you do?" And he was like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna be a writer," something like that. I know he said he was going to, and I told him, I said, "Why you say you're going to? You gotta claim it." So if you say you a writer, let me tell you something. It's this quote that Earl Nightingale say, and Earl Nightingale pretty much, they say, was the king of personal development, right? With Napoleon Hill and Earl Nightingale. And one of the things that Earl Nightingale states, he said that it was a guy who said that he was successful when he was sleeping on park benches. He said, "I knew I was successful even when he was sleeping on benches in a park." Okay. And what makes you successful is you having a worthy idea, you doing a thing that you enjoy doing, okay? not because somebody wants you to do that, but because your heart, you truly, truly desire to do that and you love doing it, right? Like you wake up excited about doing it. It's like, you thinking of ways, but when you going to sleep on your way to bed, or you writing down, so many ways. Oh, I could do this tomorrow. I could do that tomorrow and stuff like that. It excites you. Okay. And so I want you to understand and get this. Okay. Stop going based upon what your eyes see. Okay. Because the eyes are very limited. Very limited. They see so little. Okay. Very, very little. And as long as you are going based upon your five senses and not going based upon your six higher faculties, honey, your world will forever remain very, very small. Very small. Okay, so you got to go based upon your higher faculties, which is reasoning, will, imagination, intuition, perception. Okay, and what's the sixth one? Memory. I don't think I said memory. You gotta go based upon those things. You had a snack. Oh no, you had ice cream. You had that icy.
I'm hungry.
Well, go eat something else in here.
Like what?
Is stuff that you can make. You can make.
I can't make any.
No, like this. You can make the soup. You could make the soup that's in the cabinets. Or you're gonna have to wait until I get off the lot. Oh, you can eat those little pizza, the pizza bagels. Do not mess that kitchen up, Javon. So you could go, based upon stuff like that. Let me tell you, let me share this with you guys, okay? Because I'm gonna inspire you. I'm gonna inspire you one way or another for you to start taking action. Huh?
I'm hungry.
I just made you a grilled cheese. All right, I'm coming. Ask Giovanna put you some pizza bagels in the oven. I'm gonna inspire you one way or another. Okay, listen. I told you guys this story, but I want to tell you guys this story again. To the people that's out there, you have a passion to do something, but you've been talking yourself out of it. I don't care what that passion is. And oftentimes I get somebody will write to me and they say, how do I discover my passion and stuff like that? Your passion is linked to the thing that you enjoyed doing when you was a kid. So when I was a kid, right, I went to a Catholic school up into the 6th grade. And then, honey, I thought I was too grown for my own britches. Okay. I left out of the 6th grade and started getting into criminal activity and stuff like that. Honey, you couldn't tell me nothing. Then after that, I went to this all girls program, and then went and got my 8th grade degree or whatever it was like that. And then I went to high school, then later on went to college. But let me tell you something, okay? So I'm sharing that with you because there's no excuses. Okay. There's no excuses. Stop making all the excuses. Hello. Stop making all the excuses. Stop saying life was hard for me. That's why I can't show up. Life didn't give me a fair chance. Stop making all the excuses. Stop making them. Okay. Let me tell you something. By you making all these excuses and not doing the thing that you was created to do, honey, listen, nobody wants to hear it. Okay. Life happened to most of us. Okay. It's some things and stop feeling like, what? No. Because I need it. Get your charger. You gotta take it.
All right.
Right? So nobody wants to hear that because as long as you keep on giving excuses, let me tell you something. You're not so lucky in that aspect where as though certain things just occurred to you. Let me say that again. Because some of you guys, you feel like, well, only me. This only happened to me. You delulu. Okay. And the reason why you delusional is because it rains on the just and it rains also on the unjust. It rains on all of us. I remember hearing Jim Rohn say, he said, it rains on the poor just as well as it rains on the rich. Okay. And as long as you coming up with all these excuses, oh, well, let me tell you about my childhood, how unjust it was for me. I'm not, saying, all right, well, bunk your childhood. But what I'm saying is, honey, how much are you going to keep on talking about your childhood and allowing it to dictate where you go in life? Do you want more? Do you want more for your life? And you know what's so crazy? Because the people who played whatever role, your parents or whomever, you may feel like, well, they should have known better. They hurt me so much. They did this. Let me tell you something. Before somebody was able to pass the poison to you, okay, they had to do stuff to themselves. They was going through something themselves. And I'm not justifying whatever it is that occurred to you when you was a child. I'm not taking sides, your parents' sides. But what I'm saying is, honey, you're going to have to get over there. And if it's so hard where as though you feel like you can't get over it yourself, you're going to have to do counseling or something. But don't keep allowing what somebody else have done to you for you to keep on afflicting the pain on yourself. Because it's unfair to you. For you to keep on inflicting pain on yourself. Your parents did. Now, and many times, life is always trying to teach us a lesson, okay? It's always trying to teach us a lesson. What lesson are we getting from this, right? Oftentimes, if you felt like, oh, probably your mother or your father didn't love you, right? What lesson is life trying to teach you, okay? Because you go through all through your life, you get in your 20s, your 30s, your teenage years, and you just looking for love. And the lesson it's trying to teach you is that you are loved. The lesson it's trying to teach you is for you to stop looking for love. Look, I'm doing a video.
Mom's trying to push me.
Stop.
Mommy pushed me first. No.
All right, Amani, go in here.
I don't want to get pushed.
The lesson that is trying to teach you is that you are loved. And for you to stop looking or expecting people to give you something that you feel that you don't have. Okay? Because as long as you say, let me tell you something how the universe works. You feel that you're not deserving, right? Or you may feel that you're not loved. You may feel like all your life, nobody has ever loved you. Nobody has ever paid you any attention. And so now you like an attention seeker now. Now you like an Now you're like an attention seeker because I said no. Now you're like an attention seeker. You do anything for attention, right? Any type of attention, good attention, bad attention, there's no good or bad in the universe. It's just ever, but you do anything for attention. Okay? And what the universe is going to give you is what you have going on with you in the inside. So if you feel like you're not loved, it's not going to give you someone that is so in love with themselves. And I'm not talking about like egotistical or anything like that. I'm talking about someone that loves themselves, someone that appreciate themselves, someone that accept themselves for who they are. Okay, and not meaning that they don't think that they can do better. Okay, because sometimes people have this notion like, oh, I'm enough just the way I am. I ain't got to do no work on myself or whatever it is like that. What I'm saying is you should always be looking to improve. At the last time I checked, always looking to improve. How could you be better than what you were yesterday? Okay. Our ancestors, they would say, every day you should learn something new. All right. So if you got this notion going on with yourself and you say, you know what, I'm just looking for love. I'm going to find somebody that's going to love me. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to find somebody that's in alignment with you. You're going to find someone that is on the same as that, has the same as that frequency as you. So as long as you look for love, guess what? You gonna meet somebody, okay, that's looking for love as well. And it's almost like, you the addict and that person is the pusher, or you may be the pusher and that person is the addict. And what I mean when I say that is this. I got this from Mastery of Love, the book. It says, the person that seeks attention, the person that feels like, they need the other person. It's like they crave the other person. They want the other person, to pretty much make them happy, to do all these things for them. That person is the addict. And every time the other person comes and probably get them a little affection, get them, some attention or whatever it is, like that, the pusher just gives you just enough to keep you hooked. Just enough to keep you hooked. Just enough. And no matter what, no matter, honey, let me tell you something. From this book, Psycho-Cybernetics, okay? You cannot outwork your self-image. You cannot outwork it, no matter how much you try to outwork it. You just can't outwork it. All right? No matter how much you may try, and you see it all the time. You see it all the time. It's people that's out there that they try to do all these different things. They want to dress up. They keep buying this and buying that. And because a part of them feel like, the more I have, the more prettier I am going to be. I used to feel that way, the more makeup. And I buy makeup, but honey, I could get on here with no makeup, with makeup on, no makeup, I had to go through that. I had to go through that stage where it's though I was content with who I am. Okay. I had to go through accepting myself. Right. But as long as you don't accept yourself, riddle me this. Could you riddle me this? You want other people to accept you, but you don't accept yourself. How that's gonna work? Because soon as somebody accepts you or be giving you compliments, if you don't give let me tell you, if you beat yourself up, okay, always talking about, how comparing yourself. Why are you comparing yourself to other people? Always comparing yourself, saying this person is you say, oh, this person is so much prettier than me, right? Which, you comparing yourself to other people, and you saying like, you always pointing out your flaws and always, okay. And you constantly do that. And then suppose somebody came and gave you compliments. You would think probably that person trying to be funny. Either one, they trying to be funny or they want something from you because you're not used to that. So you get what I mean when I say the universe will not give you what you say you want. It's going to give you what you are. No matter how much you say, oh, I want love. But subconsciously, you feel like you don't deserve love. And we could always see how we really feel. We could always see, how we could tell how we really feel and what we got going on, and how we really feel is based upon our results. Our results. The results that we tend to get back, because that's always an indication. That's like, the report card of life, right? The results that you tend to get. That's like your report card. You say you want to be in a relationship, but you keep on, going out with guys that treat you. I mean, they just treat you like trash. And you accept it because you think that's the best that you can get. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. Okay, you're going to have to change that self-image. You're going to have to change your self-image, and you're going to also have to change what you got going on in the subconscious mind. Your self-image is a reflection of what you got going in the subconscious mind. So you're going to have to change that. And how do you change that? First, you start paying attention to observing what I advise you to do, write down, what do you desire? Okay. What do you desire for your life? Like what type of relation you desire to be in, right? And you have to become that. You have to become that now, because that relationship that you desire to be on is on a frequency of its own. Like I remember, wanting to be in certain relationships, but I was operating from masculinity. Okay, I was in my masculine energy, and so the type of guys that I would attract were guys that I felt like I can fix, like Build-A-Bears, guys that were, I don't want to say mama boys, but guys that was effeminate. A great book on this is Dr. Joseph Murphy, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. Oh my goodness, it's such a phenomenal read. But those the type of guys that I was attracting. And I never knew, like, why am I attracting these guys? I just would be like, oh, well, the next relationship is just going to be better. The next one's going to be better. No, they're not going to be better until you become better. Stop.
You fix me eggs and noodles. Mom won't fix me eggs.
He making the pizza bagels.
I love pizza bagels.
Those noodles that's up there, those are very spicy.
I can still eat them.
All right, 1 second, okay? So one of the things that you have to understand is that your life is not going to change until you change. And don't keep going based upon your eyesight. Okay, going back to the previous, the intro of this video. Okay, don't keep going based upon your eyesight. All right. And understand that whatever is showing up in your life right now, it does not mean that, you can't get different. Okay, because from all the books that wait, you want to show them? Okay, all right. So my youngest daughter wanted to show you guys her paintings, her drawings.
So it's like, I draw another one of this one.
What is it?
It's like a rainbow.
Oh, very cute. Oh, what is this?
The clouds.
Very nice.
And then I got this one. It's different. It has the sun and the blue sky and a rainbow and a flower.
Oh, very nice. These are the flowers, right? What's this?
And this is to hold the rainbow up.
Oh, nice.
And I drawed another one.
Oh, what is this?
It's a big flower.
Oh, your hearts are very nice. I like these.
I put them in different order.
Oh, really?
Like I put the red with the pink and I put the pink with the red.
Oh, nice. I like this. What is this?
A big flower.
Oh, cute.
I got some clouds too.
Very nice. All right, family. So I hope you guys got something from there. The books that I highly recommend that you start reading or not, okay. Psycho Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. Okay, is 1 second, Amani. That talks about like your self-image and stuff like that. Also, this book, No Excuses by Brian Tracy, another great read. And then right now I'm reading Working with the Law by Raymond Howell. The 11 Forgotten Laws. Okay. And so with that being said, I love you guys. Okay.
I got this one too.
Oh, that's nice. Very good. Oh, okay. Cute. All right, family. All right, family. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. And thanks for tuning in. Understand that you deserve better. I don't care. Even if you like, Dina, I'm living my best life. Okay. You can always get better, even better than that. Okay. It's such a wonderful time to be alive. So good. Okay. So the person that's out there, I'm here to tell you, okay, it gets better once you get better. Until next time. Peace.